What's up, guys? Coach Dave here in the lab where we make all the magic happen with all our levels of athletes. I just want to say thanks for coming here. And today, I want to say if you like this type of content, this video where we break these things down, hit that like, hit the subscribe. I'm glad to have you guys. It's a beautiful day here in Cedar Park, Texas. And it's a little chilly, but man, I don't mind at all. It's beautiful, the sun's out. I don't know if you can see back there, the door back there, but definitely plan on getting outside in a little bit. Today, let's talk about a secret strength builder. So there's some things we add into our program, to our core strengthening program, and I have that in just about every day, that really secretly build strength. I've been working on the MAD 13, the 13 pillars of strength training for MAD athletes. And we're gonna talk about number 2 today. So this is number 2. Number 2 is the secret core builders, right? And one of them, the number 1, is probably glute ham sit-ups. The glute ham sit-ups and back extensions. This machine is a miracle in making your core stronger, which translates to hip extension, clean snatch, squats, all the things that we do in CrossFit, right? All good things come from violent hip extension. That used to be a t-shirt. And it's true, if you're in the CrossFit world, or even the Olympic lifting world, you need violent hip extension. Even powerlifting, right? Pretty much sports, it's violent hip extension really, really helps at all levels. And so we want to incorporate this GHD sit-up, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm gonna look at the MAD app right here. Check this out. This little video is direct from my phone, and this is what the MAD app looks like as we roll through. So you're gonna see it like pop it open, boom, hit the MAD app. And then we're gonna go down to see our programs pop up. We're gonna scroll down to Super Strong. If you don't have these, obviously I have them all. Like I hit Super Strong, it's gonna load for a sec. And then we're gonna scroll down to day 1. And that's gonna be the, we're gonna click GHD sit-ups. And notice I have 30, this is the beginning things. Glute ham sit-up, click that video, zoom it in, and you're gonna see she's gonna do the first few halfway. You wanna go halfway, okay? And this your first rule of thumb is go halfway. Don't come all the way. If you're not used to that, we're not gonna go full extension. We're gonna do halfway, we're gonna build it up. Normally when I put it into a cycle, I'll have people do 30 sit-ups, roll over, 30 back extensions. You can do hip extensions. There's a little tweak on there where we can make it more about the hip. That's important. Or we make it where we do each vertebrae like one at a time. You can do that as well. But normally I'm happy with just, you know, your back extensions where your hips are out over the pad on the GHD. So number 1, we're only going halfway on our sit-ups, right? For the first, let's say, week or so, okay? And then you're gonna gradually add in, okay, now I'm gonna do my last maybe 5, I'm gonna go and touch the floor. What we're wanting to avoid is that pinch you feel in your back. And part of that is how you set up. You don't want your butt on the pad, you want your butt off of the pad, right? Get your butt off the pad, and this way you can have room to fully extend. So, couple of tricks here. Once you fully extend, you touch the floor or the mat, and before you come up, your knees are bent. You wanna lock them down. You wanna slam those knees down, and that's going to propel you up, okay? We're also working our hip flexors, our abs, and it's helping us come up, right? So once we hit that, boom, we can explode up. That's part of the violent hip extension, okay? Now, once you flip over, you go to the back extension. Okay, we're on the back extension part, same thing. We can explode up, pull with our hamstrings, pull with our glutes, tighten up, and then come back down. We can do it weighted, we can do it with a stick on our back. There's so many variations of this. Here's what you want. When you're starting, 30 reps. You can do 10 sit-ups, 10 back extensions, 3 sets, right? Then you build up to where you're doing 50, and make this part of your warm-up every day. Unless you have, you know, some crazy WOD where there's 100 in the WOD, make it part of your warm-up every day. A couple of things. I know that This has been around for a while. It's not always publicized, but this is one of my Mad Athlete's secret tricks to make you stronger. I also know that when some of the athletes went and started working with Rich Froning and Mayhem, they were surprised that they ended up doing 400 reps of these in a week, 400 or 500 reps a week, because it builds the strength, right? We need that violent hip extension, super important. So one of the things I like to do is we put this in, say Monday we do our glute ham, back extensions and sit-ups. Then we come in on Tuesday, what I might do is a heavy Russian kettlebell swing, okay? Start light, obviously. Let's start with a weight you can manage. You want all the good points of performance on your kettlebell swing. You want to make sure that your hands are just below your crotch. You're not reaching down below your knees. The kettlebell's not bending you over. None of that stuff. You want to slight bend in your knees, hands come down just below your crotch. You're popping your hip and extending your knees, and that generates the force, and you're coming about nose level, eye level into that particular realm, okay? From there, we want to get, what I have people do is let's get to 50. You can do 10 at a time, you know, and we're starting maybe, depending on your age and your level, maybe you're starting with a 35-pound kettlebell. Maybe it's a 55. Maybe you're strong. I like to get people up to where they can use the 100-pound kettlebell and do 50, okay? That's violent hip extension. Again, we're going back to that, and that's a secret strength builder. That's my top 2 secret strength builders that I have. The other things that we'll add in are things like strict toe to bar, okay? Or hanging knee raises, maybe even weighted with a light medicine ball, anything that works that. But we definitely, the top 2 are glute ham sit-ups, glute ham back extensions, and heavy Russian kettlebell swings. Those we like to incorporate Monday, GHDs, Tuesday, 50 heavy Russian swings, Wednesday back to GHDs, you know, or we can spread it out and do some other things. But those are the number 2, and that's your number 2 pillar of Mad Athlete Super Strong Programming. That's the number 2. Guys, I just think this is something everybody should have in their program. It helps prevent injury. It helps you explode violently. It will help your snatch, your clean and jerk, your muscle ups, like everything. There's not anything it's not going to help, okay? It really is a secret strength builder, and I'm happy to share it with you. Again, guys, watch some of these videos. We're going to watch, boom, repetitive, violent hip extension with this Russian kettlebell swing at this heavier weight. Boom, watch the knees extend, watch the hips extend, back and forth, chest is high, we're not rounding at the back, the weight doesn't pull us forward. This is something we want to build up to, guys. Gradually build up to it, okay? Flip back to our GHDs, watch the sit-ups, watch Chelsea, watch Kaeo, they're both coming up. Boom, violent hip extension, violent hip extension. I think this is in the middle of a WOD, actually. Yeah, but it's good, what you want. And you want to eventually put them into WODs, but we need to become comfortable. And I cannot iterate enough, do not start with 100 GHD sit-ups. It will destroy your abs. We do not want that. Start small, smaller than you think. Start with 30. 3 sets of 10 sit-ups, 3 sets of 10 back extensions. Then the next day, or the next week, I mean, then the next week we go to, 40, and then we go to 50. And eventually when you're comfortable with 50 every day, when you start doing full range for the last 5 reps, for the last 10 reps, then you build that up to where you can do full range for all. We do not want the pinch in the back. That's very important. It means you're set up wrong. And I actually have a couple athletes that don't ever do that unless they're competing, because of the way they're built. They just get that pinch in the back. They have a hard time extending with that, even if they're set up on the GHD correctly. So there's a little bit of individualization. That's where your coach comes in. If you have questions and you don't have a coach or you don't have anyone to reach out to me, send me a video. I'm happy to critique it, happy to check it out, tell you what I think. But I do have some people that in training, they will not fully extend. And then when we go to competition and they have to, they will. We can do those weighted. We've done them weighted. My teams did them weighted at the games in 22, I think. Maybe 22, 21, one of those years. But that's super important, guys. So there you go. 2 strength builders that you can add in. 3 really secret strength builders. Make sure you add them in and get super strong, guys. All right, rock and roll.